know this, Uncle Tom?
Listen, sucker. I'm blacker than the ace of spades and more militant than you and your whole damn army put together. And while you out there chanting at rallies and browbeating politicians, I'm taking out any money front sucker on a Hummel that gets in my way. So I tell you what, when your so-called revolution starts, you call me, and I'll be right down front showing you how it's done. But until then, you need to shut the fuck up when grown folks is talking.
What up, world? It's your boy, Coolie Main.
You got AK the Chief in the building.
Special guest AR in the building. Boy Dutch in the building.
And y'all know what it is. It's time to plug them headphones in, put the kids to bed, and let's begin to listen. It's Grown Ups Talk. Today we're going to talk about the father in the household, the importance of it, and why we all do it so good. Let's go.
What up, world? What's going on with y'all?
Shit, what up, AK?
What up?
What up, Dutch?
What's good, my boy?
What up, AR?
Everything cool, man. Everything cool.
Y'all niggas don't be too cool to speak into the mic now. God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all niggas don't be afraid. Y'all niggas been here before, nigga. Take another shot of Don or something. Loosen up.
Shout out to Don Julio.
Shout out to Don Julio. Know what I mean? Shout out to Jose Cuervo. Just had to put that on mute real quick. When y'all see this, y'all see. Had to put that on mute real quick. But y'all know what part of the show this is. This part of the show is dedicated to you. To our fans, our supporters, our listeners. Everybody that's listening to the audio when we drop it on Monday and the visuals that we drop on Wednesdays. We fuck with y'all, y'all fuck with us, because it takes a special type of you to appreciate a special type of us, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely, and most definitely. You already know my motto, like, share, and follow.
Right.
If you didn't do it,
do it.
Do it. Tell a friend, and do it again. You already
and
know.
y'all stop acting all fucking stank. If you on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, any motherfucking where you can put in our name and our podcast pop the motherfucking up.
Hit that
motherfucking link.
Okay, so shout out to Monica. She ain't here with us on this episode.
Yeah, you know, she doing her.
Shout out to the real Monica. You already know, so
whatever those numbers is at the end, they keep changing and shit. Shout out to you.
So you know when she's not here, I usually hold her job down as far as the intro go.
Yeah.
So new followers, we got I can't even pronounce that, so I'm gonna go.
Skip it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down. So
don't skip it.
You can't pronounce it. Ain't gonna chop it and screw it.
Right.
Shit.
It's the fans though, man. You gotta show fans love.
She-Ron 7. That's the best I'm gonna do. Shout out to She-Ron 7. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you.
Yeah, we got Legendary EI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got J Miss.
Let's go.
We got let's see, Baked Beats.
Alright.
We got QB Vibes.
Oh, shout out to Big Beats, man. You can send us some beats. Tell them to email, man. Send them beats in.
Y'all already know what it is. It's grownupstalk1@gmail.com. Again, grownupstalk1@gmail.com. But shout out while we got the time to shout out. Yeah, 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe.
Shout out to
Don Julio. Again, it's 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe. Y'all know where to find us. November 16th, it will be the big bash for the 1 year anniversary of the podcast. So get off your ass and come rock out with us. Like that day. Like not late, like on time, like be there. Like
we everywhere, y'all never there.
Right. Shout out to Ski Boy, the whole squad over there, you know what I mean? The bartenders, the security, hey motherfucker that ever been there. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Again, 631 Middletown Ave, Middletown Cafe. Rock with them. Rock with us. Let's have fun.
So let's jump into it, man. Let's do it. We were paying enough bills.
Yeah, you know, we had to get that one out the way. But, you know what I mean? Now that's out the way. We sitting in the room with 4 kings, you know what I mean? 4, you know what I mean? Fathers, very involved fathers, you know what I mean? All of us who haven't had our fathers too involved in our lives or involved at all in our lives, but we breaking the chain. So, you know what I mean? As y'all heard in the intro, we want to come forth and
I would
talk
like-
about, the importance of a father in these children's lives.
I would like to start off because I want to go back to something that you said in the beginning when we first started. You said that it was something that we do so well.
Yeah.
And as a father and as a young father, I don't feel like we do it all that well. I feel like it's a constant learning lesson for us, you know?
Right.
It's like we're going through it. At the same time, we're doing it, yes, but we're actually learning. We're not professionals at this. We didn't have fathers.
That's a fact, because every day I'm still learning.
Exactly. We're just trying to be the
But
best
I can
father.
agree with Maine and say we are doing it well.
feel me?
He said we all. He said we all do it so well.
All.
No,
You
I
gotta-
mean,
all don't do it
these,
so well.
these four right here.
Oh, okay.
You ask
That's
me?
different. That's different.
These four right here that's sitting right here at this table right now.
I was gonna question that too.
No, that's different. When you say
but-
us four
but-
here, okay, then I understand that because yes, we are. Because we're doing our best that we can possibly do
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I said. There's four
You know?
kings in the room right now. We're all fathers and we all do it well. So all four of us do that well.
I just wanted to bring that up though because we are just learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you think about how we all grew up, you feel me? Like I said, some of us had our fathers popping in and out of our lives. Some of us didn't have our fathers at all. And for us to be the fathers we are, you got 3 kids and you're there every fucking day. Full custody, all that. Like, you're all the way there for your kids. Like, Dutch, you're all the way there for your kids. Like, AK, all the way there for your kids. I'm all the way, we not missing a
But
step
that, it
on
doesn't
none of that.
necessarily mean that we're doing it so well because sometimes I have these moments where, you know, something that happened during the day or at nighttime and I let my kids go to sleep and I'm like, damn, I could have did something different.
Yeah, but that's
Instead of
part of
getting
being
mad and
human.
saying go to bed, I could have read them a bedtime story. I could have read them chapters out of the Bible or the Holy Quran.
Listen, I have those little things
We
too
don't
when
feel
once
like-
they go to bed because you know what it is. It's a product of a good father. You go in the room, you look at them, they sleep and they're looking so sweet,
Right.
and then you just think like, damn, when they was just getting on my nerves an hour ago.
You fed them and now you're like, yo, go to sleep, go to your room. And then after they go to sleep, they're like, damn,
I'm gonna
yeah,
look at my son. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna look like he killed 10 people.
you just have those moments though. You feel like, damn, I could have did a little bit better. I could have did something, but you know what you learn for the next time.
Yeah. So
Right.
you know, and that brings me to my question. And what Coolie said in the intro and throughout the introducing the show. So he said one important thing that we all all of us at some point in time had our fathers jump in and out or not at all in our life or whatever. So I'm just gonna ask y'all as a father because I know my answer. I just want to know y'all opinion. Do you think that is a key, I guess, a battery to keep you pushing to be a good father or father, period? I mean, the absence of your father, the absence.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Go ahead.
Elaborate.
Floor is yours, bro.
So
Floor is
you can't
yours.
just say yes.
Yeah.
And then, you got to tell us why.
Because we didn't have our father there, so it makes us want to be better fathers for our children. You understand?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't have my father at all. I don't even know what the guy looked like, nothing. But I'm gonna always be there for my sons, no matter what.
I'm
I
sorry,
do not
son.
want them to feel
Right
what
here.
I felt growing up as a kid.
No, facts. And
I totally agree with you. You feel me? I feel the fuel of not having my father. My father popped in between jail sentences. He popped in just to show up, but every time I seen him, he was either drunk or he was high or he was talking shit, and it was always some wild shit going on every time he popped up or every time I ended up seeing him. But that pushed me. I use that shit as fuel. I don't want to be that example. I don't want to be the memories I have flash in my head of my father. I don't want my kids to have flashing in their head of their father. You feel me? And I let my father know that shit. You feel me? I had the opportunity to tell him because one day, he asked me. He was in the hospital and shit. He asked me, am I disappointed in him as a father? And I was like, I'm not. I'm not disappointed in you with anything. I feel like you was the greatest father in the world because you wasn't there. So you taught me everything not to be. You feel me? By your absence, it showed me how to be present in my life. Like, you feel me? In my life that I'm creating for myself. It showed me how to be a stand-up man and do everything that I'm supposed to do. Like, that shit just, like you said, like, that shit is just fuel to my fire. Like, I just know what I need to do and what not to do. That was the example of what not to do.
For me, I don't think that it was fuel because I had father role models around. Even though my father wasn't there, I had my grandfather and I had my uncles. So I really didn't feel that harsh feeling of not having my father there. What really did it for me was watching what he did to my brothers and sisters. You know, like by the time I got old enough to understand what was going on, I seen them coming and going. My sisters or my brothers like, Daddy, I want to go with you. Or Daddy, you say you would stay with me. Oh, I'm going here. I can't take you there. I'll be back. Stay here with grandma. Stay here with your brother. Stay with your sister. So I seen that, and then he never really followed up on nothing that he said he was gonna do. I used to watch my brother and sisters cry over that. So I told myself that not only would I be a good big brother for them and be there for them, that when I have kids, I will never do that to them. Never. And you know what's so ironic? My father watches me now be the best dad ever. And he looks at me now like, wow, he can't believe that I am the father that I am because he didn't have anything to do with that. And him watching me is actually teaching him how to be a better father. This man had made amends with all his kids, and he's been a great grandfather now by watching me with my kids. But one thing I wanted to talk about too, Main, Coolie.
Before you switch the subject,
No, it's not. It's the same subject.
Okay. I just want to answer. I want to have my chance.
Right, no, it's the same subject. It's the same subject though. Shout out to BJ. Brother BJ had told me one time that he felt blessed because his dad wasn't in his life.
Yeah.
Because had his dad been in his life and he was watching his dad while he was growing up, he probably would have been worse off because of what kind of father he had at that time. He'd have been worse off by watching his father live the lifestyle that he was living. He'd probably be more likely that. But because he didn't watch his father while he was growing up, he's not like his dad.
The difference between BJ and me, and BJ is my blood brother. He came out the same womb I came out of, but he got to live with my father. He got to see what my father really was doing. Like, I mean, for like a good 2-3 years, he lived with my father. Like, you feel me? And that's part of the reason why he is the way he is today. Like, you feel me? I know he gonna hear this shit and he gonna give me a good phone call. We gonna have a good conversation about it. It's my brother. I love him, but I'm not. He know I'm not gonna pull no punches. Like as we seen on the previous episode, I call it right down the middle. It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but bro had the chance to experience. I never lived with my father. I never had that chance to experience waking up to him, seeing him there, and know what he gonna do, playing shit off for the day, or him sending me off to school. None of that.
The point is by you, and it shows though. You said PJ had that, right?
Right.
Right now, things are tough for B.
Right.
Look at how you are right now. You are one of the best fathers that I know.
Appreciate that.
And you've been that way. You've been consistent.
Appreciate that.
How old is JoJo?
She 10, about to be 11 in July.
You've been consistent for a whole 11 years in July.
Yeah. Yeah.
This coming July, it'll be a whole 11 years that you've been consistent with being a great father.
Thank you.
Not everybody can say that. So had you seen your father be that kind of father, maybe not. You wouldn't be the father that you are now.
So basically what you're saying of us not having fathers make us great fathers?
So
I'm saying that it empowers us to be the great father that we are. And it doesn't make us a great father because it doesn't do the same thing to everybody.
Right.
Some people be like, look, my father wasn't there. My father.
They use it as a crutch.
So guess what? I'm not gonna be there. I don't have to.
Some people have.
You know, it's a choice. It's a choice that we make inside that tells us I can't do this. Especially if you see your child. Yeah. Come on now, tell me that when you first seen your child for the first time, you didn't have that feeling like.
Hold on, I want to come back to that very point.
I want to come back to that very point.
We gotta let AK.
I want to love this child.
Get his. I mean, you started this whole.
Yeah. I'm like everybody get their feelings out.
Because I got something to go right back to that point. I can't forget that because that shit. You made a very valid point. But go ahead.
So all right, what I want to say is because the reason why I even asked the question because I was at work and me and a coworker, we was talking and shit and we kind of like had the same absence of our fathers not being there and shit and I'm telling him what I resented as a child and shit. Like, you know, the days when it was like bring your father to school day type shit. Like, I mean, or like this little shit like that. And the shit hurted me as a kid, man. And I mean, shit, it's a feeling that I don't wish on a child, period. So, I mean, I vow at that very moment to not ever put my kids in that predicament. And we all said the same thing in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so that shit hurted us in some way, form, or fashion. Like, I mean, if it didn't hurt us directly, you know what I mean, it hurted us indirectly. So, I mean, that shit is, it's a scar.
Definitely.
It's a scar.
Definitely is a scar.
Yeah, it's a scar and shit. So, I mean, it's something to remember. And it's good that you got 4, I mean, African American brothers and shit that's on the right path of it and shit instead of the destructive path of like Coolie was just saying, like, yo, fuck it, it happened to me, it happened to my offspring type shit. And I mean, that's a selfish way of thinking.
Right.
I mean, but some people isn't as strong as us right here. You know, only the strong survive. I just want to say, you know what I mean, I commend you brothers, and I mean,
appreciate that.
And
we salute you too, bro.
Definitely. I appreciate that. And damn, I wanted to go somewhere else, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and touch what you wanted to say.
My bad. For saluting you, I know that kind of fucked you up too.
No, it didn't fuck me up. But
so brother AR was saying, I mean, he was basically saying that we could have been like a lot of other people in the same situation and just been like, yo, fuck it, we ain't have ours, so we ain't gonna be there for ours. Like, you feel me? But I look at like my father, right? My grandfather died when my father was 2. They like, I mean, he was hung. Like, they hung my grandfather when my father was 2. So my father grew up without his father. Like, you feel me? So him not having his father, I look at it as like talking about it now. It kind of it damaged him. So he was only doing what he knew how to do. Like, he was us, like how we are just trying to figure it out ourselves, and we just happen to be doing it in a good way. He just was like, yo, I'm still gonna live my life and I'm gonna be around so they'll know that I'm their father, but I don't know how, like, I mean, I don't know how to do much more than what I'm doing. Like, you feel me?
I'm glad that both of you brought that up because I think it's important. Us now as grown-ups, we have to really think about it, right? Do you know why your father wasn't there? Do any of you know why?
I know
I know why mine was. My father wasn't there because of drug addiction and jail sentences.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty much the same for me. Drug addiction and jail sentences.
Okay.
Well, my father, he died when I was a baby, and then my dad, which my stepfather, he ended up dying when I was 5, so it was like.
All right, so that right there, I'm glad that you said that because that shows you that everybody's situation not the same. There was no control that you or your father had over that situation. That's God's plan.
Yes.
So we can't question God's plan. But, you know, there's always going to be an exception. You still turn out to be a great man and a great dad. So, but
I mean, his
for
spirit guided.
the most part, though, right? Like you said, drug addiction, jail sentences. We need to understand first and foremost that in our culture, in our community, they set it up for the black man to be taken out of the homes.
Oh yeah.
So that the black children would not have fathers, and so that the mothers would have to go out and work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of the family. So that way, the outcomes of the children would be fucked up.
Or that they become so dependent on the system that the system really get to dictate how
they grow up.
They're
Exactly.
raised and
that's why a lot of people still now to this day have that system mentality. They're systematically thinking like they're on the state and they can't come out of it because that's what they know. And then you also have to think about, you don't know what our parents went through.
Right.
Like, for example, my dad was using drugs and he did a couple jail sentences, I think, after I was born. But my mom and my dad broke up when I was 2. You know why? Not because he was going to jail because he had an addiction. Well, yeah, part of the reason why. But my mom did not want that. She didn't want her son seeing that kind of activity or that life.
Right.
She didn't want to be with somebody that was living like that.
Right.
So she said, no, I don't want that. You'll see your son when he comes to your mom's house or when you pick him up. And then from there on out, it was like, oh, I'm not going to fight her. I'm not going to argue with her. I'm just going to go. I'll see my son when I can see him. Same thing with all his other kids. He's like, I'm not arguing with this woman. I don't want to fight with her. I'll see him when I see my kids when I see them.
Right.
It becomes that, because we don't know. Automatically, a woman will tell you, you'll never see your son again, or you'll never see your daughter again. Right? And automatically, if you don't know the law, you don't know your rights, you automatically be like, damn. You think you got to do shit to please your baby mother?
I was never
see your kids.
subjected to that thinking to where I would give up if any of my baby mothers would only go
But
to.
you've seen it though.
But
You've seen it though. You've seen guys hold up and try to do whatever they can for their baby mother because they think that, oh, if you're not making the baby mother happy, you can't see your kids.
All right.
When really that's not reality. You can go to court and actually solve that in court and have joint custody or full custody or however that works, but
Absolutely.
you don't have to take none of that stuff.
Absolutely not.
But the generation before us, our dads, it was not even thinking about no shit like that.
They did not
Like,
give a
what'd you
fuck.
say? What'd you say? I can't see my kids.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll see them when they grown.
Right. What you gonna do then?
Yeah, what you gonna do now?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, another man stepped in there and we got stepdaddies.
Yeah.
Like who on some shit, raise your hand. Who in here had a stepdad? Raise your hand.
You don't have stepdads.
Not
Come
me.
on. And
Bruh.
guess what?
I didn't.
You had listen.
I didn't. Real shit. I didn't have no.
He
like,
never really had an official stepdad.
Yeah, I didn't. Never
Because
did.
his
Bro,
mom
not
never
until
remarried.
Doughboy. Shout out to Doughboy. I
Yeah,
know
shout out
you
to Doughboy,
support-
because I
I
thought
know
about him
you
immediately when
support-
you saying
my
never
My
happened.
mom was never married. Like
Doughboy was around.
so.
Gregory Kincher.
Yeah.
Let's say your
But-
real name, because there's a couple of Doughboys out there.
But he ain't come around.
Gregory.
He was
Oh,
around.
shit.
He was
Shout out to
around.
Gregory Kinchin.
So he came around at some point when I was like 7 or 8. Then he went off and did his, like he did a bid or whatever. And I ain't see him again. He ain't come back around my mother's life until I was 17 or 18. That's like in between that.
Now,
Yeah.
wait.
So you got someone that was dealing with your mom more than 2 to 3 years.
On a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Can we talk about
Was
what
my
makes us?
stepdad.
Wait a minute.
That's one thing I don't even agree with that title.
I don't call my husband my stepdad.
I don't agree with that title.
What I'm doing is I'm acknowledging the fact that he stepped in to fill a role.
Right.
Yo,
That's
fuck you,
what
bro.
I'm saying.
I don't call him stepdad.
That's it. I don't
I don't believe in that.
I don't
Any
believe
of my
that
parents-
either.
But guess what though? Guess what?
Yo, he ain't
You
have
have
to
to
do
be
it.
kicked. No, he didn't have to be.
He didn't have to do it.
But
No,
now, guess what? Now, as an adult, I'm 32. I'm a stepdad.
What's Snoop
And
Dogg
guess
said?
what?
What he said? He said, that ain't my son.
No,
You know
but-
what I'm saying? He ain't have to do it.
Fuck you for it, cuz.
Right. I don't know. My
Yeah,
stepdad would
it's
did that.
stupid.
My stepdad would did that. He would have been a dead stepdad.
He was walking around here. Fuck you for it, cuz.
I remember one time my stepdad, man, got so mad at him, y'all called my uncles on him. He came to pick me up from my grandma's one day, yo, and me and my uncles were standing on the porch.
I remember that shit.
We standing on
Bro.
the porch like this.
You were like, yeah, got my uncles with me.
He was like, everything all right? I was like, my uncle want to talk to you. I never had a problem after that, man. Shout out to my uncles, man. Shout out to my stepdad too, man, because I never called you a stepdad, but you did definitely feel that wrong.
That's
So,
exactly what it is.
I
bro.
know y'all know, like, and I know the listeners know, but I say I never had a stepdad because the dudes that my mom was dealing with for multiple years, like, they was beating her ass and doing shit like that. So that's not my stepdad. Like, that's not a father figure. That's not a man in the house, my nigga. Like, that's just a body that live here. That's why I say I didn't have no father figure. I ain't have no male figure in the house. Like, I mean, I told y'all before.
That's why I just gave a shout out to Doughboy because
Right.
Yeah, but Doughboy came around when I was already.
He was older. That's what
You still-
No, listen, no, but listen, no. Let's talk about before.
So what? So what?
Listen, no,
Bro.
let's talk
Raising me.
about.
I've been
Let's talk.
raised
No, that's
already.
not true.
No,
though.
that's not true.
Bro.
Hey, you went to
Listen.
college. You had a stepdaddy.
No, listen,
Bro.
You don't want that shit.
Coolie, hear me out on this really quick.
I'm listening.
First,
bro.
let's
I'm telling you, I'm talking about a brick wall.
Let's
right?
define.
Never too old enough to learn,
Before
bro.
we finish that right there, let's define what a stepdad
Man, go
is.
ahead. Break that shit down.
A stepdad is not somebody that's just there to be with your mom. A stepdad actually shows you love and affection because of how he feels for your mom. He's willing to show you love and affection that he would show his own son or
You're not
daughter.
only there just busting your mom down, nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They talk to you. They give you advice. Like,
I'm just saying.
Doughboy, wait, hold on. Doughboy used to come out and drop jewels.
Yeah, he did. Nah,
He used to drop jewels.
That's
he
why
shared, he shared dollars with you that he didn't have to share
That's
with
why,
you.
bro. That's why I shouted him out. Like, you feel me? That's why I shouted him out before anybody, because
He never tried to be your dad. A
man,
stepdad will never try to be a real stepdad. Will never try to be your dad.
right. And the way I feel as a stepdad, look at it, stepdad. It's a person that had to step in and be
Right.
the dad. He
Right.
never had to step in and be the dad. Doughboy was my mom's husband, who was my friend. That's what that became. That wasn't even. He didn't come in and have to show me how to be a man or none of that. He respected me.
That's not. Listen, when you get grown, and I mean, we all, well, when you get grown and you have a relationship with your father and shit, and you're already a man, there's still lessons to be taught.
Right.
So
That's right.
I mean,
That's
it's
right.
it's not like it's not like you knew it all already, Coolie.
You were
So
still a kid, technically.
Right.
Technically, you were still a kid.
right,
You
it's
just had
shit
hair
that
on
he-
your face. You just had a beard.
Right.